Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? So I just heard this debate, or I don't know. I've been on the Flip app, so everybody, that's how you get your views over there. So sorry about that. I just added the Flip app. Apparently, they pay you for posting or whatever. So I've been over there for a little bit. So that's why I said debate. Anyways, so I was listening to the radio, and the question that came up is this is since we're in the mommy sector. Uh, would you prefer, or if you're a parent, have babies, right? Did you, okay, if you had children young, I don't know why am I having trouble articulating my words? Okay, so let me try this again. Okay, so parenting, would you do it young or old? I got to do both. Okay, I got pregnant with my daughter when I was 18, no, 19. Was I 18 or 19? I think I got pregnant when I was 18, had her when I was a few months away from being 19. So I was a young mommy, okay? Married and not, I didn't get married until after she was born, but married and everything, super young. And then um, I, my son, I adopted him, but I didn't get asked to, you know, have, at first it was supposed to be a temporary situation. He was placed with me. I was in my early 30s. So I had both points of views. I know both of them. Honestly, it was easier. I don't know if it was because it was the second child or what it was, but it was a lot easier. I mean, yes, I was starting all over. My daughter was 13 when my son was placed with me, and it was a lot easier, um like adjusting with him, and he had special needs as a newborn, and he was a preemie, so he had a lot of stipulations, but I was mature enough to, you know to take care of him. I was stable. I wasn't like all over the place. I had been at the same residence for several years. I was at the same job for several years. So I was stable. Um, I was just honestly, I think he came in my life to calm me the fuck down because when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was a drinker. Like I moved out super young, so I was already, life was already lifing me at a very young age. So I had my own apartment, my own job. I was living on my own when I got pregnant with my daughter, um, and I was drinking. I know I was underage. But this is my story. Okay, I was underage, but I was drinking. I smoked. I was like a chain smoker. Can you imagine? Oh my god, I was I was a literal chain smoker. I don't even smoke anymore. Like that's crazy. I don't smoke anything. I've never smoked like gardening. You know how people say gardening? I never got into that ever, ever. I tried it once when I was young. Obviously, I was like 13 when I tried it. Was I 13? No, 15. My cousin who let me try it was 13, and then yeah. So and then I got to try it a second time, right? But it was supposed to be my first time because that's how some people parent. They're like, you need to try this now. I don't want you trying it with your friends and blah, blah, blah. It was like a little speech. So I had to pretend like that was the first time I tried it. But I didn't like it that time either. I just never liked it. I never liked it because I'm naturally anemic. I'm anemic. I have severe anemia. Like I'm just always tired. And back then, in my days, they only had the one kind, or no, two kinds: the cheap kind and the expensive kind. So, and I never, I tried both, and I didn't. Nope, I just never liked it. It just made me tired, sleepy, hungry. and that was it. So I never liked that. But yeah, I used to chain smoke cigarettes. Yeah. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, I stopped everything, and I didn't drink or anything like that. Like I stopped like just that day. That day I found out I was pregnant, I stopped drinking and smoking. And so yeah. And then when he was placed with me, since it was through CPS, it was a kinship placement because we were related, right? So he I didn't have, my daughter was 13, she was older, she could take care of herself. Like we would go to bars and stuff all the time, me and the person I was with at the time, we used to bar hop all the time. And then like we were always out, we were drinking all the time. I was working, but when I wasn't working, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot. Okay, I will admit I was drinking a lot, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, whenever you're going through something like that with CPS, even though it wasn't my CPS case, I was there to aid him and give him a better life. So how am I going to be drinking every day? Like, come on. And they don't tell you you can't drink. They just say like, you can have like liquor, beer in your house and stuff like that. Like you can do that, but um, you can't be a fucking, drinking every damn day. So I just stopped because we had the regular CPS worker, we had the kinship caseworker, and we had another lady. We had three ladies just popping in. Well, they didn't pop in all the time. They would say we can just pop in anytime. We could just just show up, and you can't be all drunk. Well, that's what I was thinking in my head. They didn't tell me that because they didn't know I drank because they told me I didn't drink. I told them I didn't drink. So yeah, so I had to like stick to what I said, right? So, but anyway, so he was a newborn, so it's not like I had time. I didn't have time to be drinking, I had to like slow it down, and at that time I had picked up smoking cigarettes again. I was smoking like I was smoking a lot, so I had to stop that because when you have the smoke on your clothes and you're holding the baby, I don't want to give him secondhand. So, yeah, so he actually, it was like history repeating itself if you think about it, because I was like in the same state when I got pregnant with my daughter. And I was like in the same state when my son got placed with me. So I guess they kind of slowed me down, huh? And then now I don't even drink anymore, because um, I just stopped because when you have a little one, you can't be hitting the salt. Well, I can't enjoy my alcohol and be like running after a kid. That's just I don't know how my family did it growing up. They did it so well, but I couldn't do it. But so if I wanted to, back to the main question was, if you could have a child while you were younger or older, I would say older because it's easier. When you're young, like any little misstep is like um, a catastrophe because you haven't lived life, so you don't know how to deal with things. You don't know how to process things. You don't know, and then obviously when you're older, you're more financially stable to have more children. So I would say if I'd rather be an older parent. I don't care if I look like grandpa. No, grandpa. I don't care if I look like grandma. Going. I don't care. Like I know more, than I did back then. So, and I will say, for being a young mommy, my daughter turned out pretty fucking awesome. If I don't say so myself, okay. And that's mainly her. She's an Aries, so she's got that drive. But I did give birth to her, so I'm gonna take partial credit. Anyways, yeah. So, would you be an older parent or would you be a younger parent? I say older, it's easier. And then also, you don't want to be tied down, like in your 20s. Like, that's when you're supposed to be living life, getting to know yourself, dipping it and doing it the way Miss Wendy Williams used to say, your 20s. And I believe that your 20s are for you to find yourself, figure out what you're going to do, go to school. Like, you have time to just chill. Okay, you have time to just get to know yourself, move out of your parents' house or stay in your parents' house, but get to know yourself and what you like, what you don't like. Um, you can't really do that. Like, you got to think about your baby when you're a young mom, and you tend to do things for your child, like stay in a relationship because of your child, but when you're older and you're more self-sufficient, you're not less likely to be like, oh, I gotta stay here because this is half my bills, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. When you're older, it's just, I think it's easier. That's just my opinion. How about yours? Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye.